Hi. Welcome to the History House. I'm Arma Saeed and you are watching the History of November 2nd on your favorite The History House YouTube channel. Please watch the video till the end so that you will know about the births and deaths on this day. Do not forget to subscribe the channel in order to get daily updates. November 2nd is the 306th day of the year, 307th in leap years in the Gregorian calendar. 59 days remain until the end of the year. 619 A Khan of the Western Turkic Khaganate is assassinated in a Chinese palace by Eastern Turkic rivals after the approval of Tang Emperor Gaozu. 1410 The Peace of Bicetre suspends hostilities in the Armagnac-Burgundian Civil War. 1675 Plymouth Colony Governor Josiah Winslow leads a colonial militia against the Narragansett during King Philip's War. 1795 The French Directory, a five-man revolutionary government, is created. 1868 Time zone, New Zealand officially adopts a standard time to be observed nationally. 1889 North Dakota and South Dakota are admitted as the 39th and 40th U.S. states. 1899 The Boers begin their 118-day siege of British-held Ladysmith during the Second Boer War. 1912 Bulgaria defeats the Ottoman Empire in the Battle of Lule-Burgas, the bloodiest battle of the First Balkan War, which opens her way to Constantinople. 1914 World War I The Russian Empire declares war on the Ottoman Empire and the Dardanelles are subsequently closed. 1917 The Balfour Declaration proclaims British support for the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, with the clear understanding that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities. 1917 The Military Revolutionary Committee of the Petrograd Soviet, in charge of preparation and carrying out the Russian Revolution, holds its first meeting. 1920 In the United States, KDKA of Pittsburgh starts broadcasting as the first commercial radio station. The first broadcast is the result of the 1920 United States presidential election. 1936 The British Broadcasting Corporation initiates the BBC television service, the world's first regular, high-definition, then defined as at least 200 lines, service. Renamed BBC One in 1964, the channel still runs to this day. 1940 World War II, first day of Battle of Alea Calamas between the Greeks and the Italians. 1947 In California, designer Howard Hughes performs the maiden and only flight of the Hughes H-4 Hercules, also known as the Spruce Goose, the largest fixed-wing aircraft ever built. 1949 The Dutch-Indonesian Round Table Conference ends with the Netherlands agreeing to transfer sovereignty of the Dutch East Indies to the United States of Indonesia. 1951 6,000 British troops arrive in Suez after the Egyptian government abrogates the Anglo-Egyptian Treaty of 1936. 1951 Canada In the Korean War, a platoon of the Royal Canadian Regiment defends a vital area against a full battalion of Chinese troops in the Battle of the Songgok Spur. The engagement lasts into the early hours the next day. 1956 Hungarian Revolution, Imre Nagy requests UN aid for Hungary. Nikita Khrushchev meets with leaders of other communist countries to seek their advice on the situation in Hungary, selecting Janos Kadar as the country's next leader on the advice of Josip Broz Tito. 1956 Suez Crisis, Israel occupies the Gaza Strip. 1959 Quiz show scandals, 21 game show contestant Charles Van Doren admits to a congressional committee that he had been given questions and answers in advance. 1959 The first section of the M1 motorway, the first interurban motorway in the United Kingdom, is opened between the present junctions 5 and 18, along with the M10 motorway and M45 motorway. 1960 Penguin Books is found not guilty of obscenity in the trial RV Penguin Books Limited, the Lady Chatterley's lover case. 1963 South Vietnamese President Ngo Dinh Diem is assassinated following a military coup. 1964 King Saud of Saudi Arabia is deposed by a family coup, and replaced by his half-brother Faisal. 1965 Norman Morrison, a 31-year-old Quaker, sets himself on fire in front of the river entrance to the Pentagon to protest the use of napalm in the Vietnam War. 1966 – The Cuban Adjustment Act comes into force, allowing 123,000 Cubans the opportunity to apply for permanent residence in the United States. 1967 Vietnam War – U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson and the wise men conclude that the American people should be given more optimistic reports on the progress of the war. 1983 U.S. President Ronald Reagan signs a bill creating Martin Luther King Jr. Day. 1984 Capital punishment – Thelma Barfield becomes the first woman executed in the United States since 1962. 1986 Lebanon hostage crisis – U.S. hostage David Jacobson is released in Beirut after 17 months in captivity. 1988 The Morris worm – the first Internet-distributed computer worm to gain significant mainstream media attention, is launched from MIT. 1990 British Satellite Broadcasting and Sky Television plc merged to form Sky B as a result of massive losses. 1999 Xerox murders – in the worst mass murder in the history of Hawaii, a gunman shoots at 8 people in his workplace, killing 7. 2000 Expedition 1 arrived at the International Space Station for the first long-duration stay on board. 2016 The Chicago Cubs defeat the Cleveland Indians in the World Series, ending the longest Major League Baseball championship drought at 108 years. Births on this day 30th of October. 1965 Shah Rukh Khan Indian actor. 1934 Ken Rosewall Australian tennis player. 1865 Warren G. Harding American politician, 29th President of the United States. 1755 Marie Antoinette Austrian wife of Louis XVI of France. 971 Mahmud of Ghazni. Deaths on this day 30th of October. 2007 The Fabulous Moolah American wrestler. 2004 Theo van Gogh Dutch director. 1966 Peter Debye Dutch, American physicist, chemist, Nobel Prize laureate. 1963 Ngo Dinh Diem South Vietnamese politician, first President of the Republic of Vietnam. 1950 George Bernard Shaw Irish writer, Nobel Prize laureate. Thanks a lot for watching the History House YouTube channel. Please like this video and subscribe the channel for latest stories on daily basis.